Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Depends where you're listening this from. Welcome to the API August. This is episode number two of four-part series, live stream series. Today's session is about how you're going to secure your API workloads using IDP. Before I start the demo, actually, we've been doing this a live stream, a demo, webinars, meetups for last 6 months, and I really understood and realized how hard it is to be a VJ or a DJ or a RJ without knowing what is really happening, what's the emotion in front of you. All you're doing is talking to the camera, talking to the mic without knowing how your audience are receiving. It's hats off to them who are doing the job, the VJs and RJs of the world. Let's start. So a quick recap from episode one. We covered how easy it is to install NGINX and configure as an API gateway with a ready-made configuration which was available to you all, or to all of you guys already through GitHub. If you missed, please go and visit the episode number one. I'm sure the link is on the screen. So before we start the demo, I just wanted to have a quick catch-up, quick things happening in the OAuth to OpenID Connect world. The first RFC, what you are actually seeing here, OAuth 2.1, is in a draft mode, which is, I think it's coming very close. This is very exciting one, which I'm waiting for. There are certain recommendations came through this bit. One of them is they're going to take the implicit grant, resource owner password grant out of OAuth 2. They skipped it. Both of these grants, I really hated it. It's good. It's going to be removed. And the other change which is proposed, these are all the things which I quite liked. The bearer token, you won't be able to send. You shouldn't be send that on the query string anymore. And the authorization code will have to be used with the PXE. So these are all the few changes which is coming along with OAuth 2.1 draft. There's another one which actually I'm very excited about is the mutual TLS, client authentication under certificate bound tokens. What this means is you'll have to associate the access token and certificates. I'm very keen, very eager to see this coming through and how the IDPs are going to realize this. It needs a bit of integration with the certificate provider and the IDP. So let's see how that's going to do. The other one, what you're looking into the screen, is a resource indicator. That's other exciting feature which I'm looking forward to. This is to issue the token for a specific API resource where the token shouldn't be used for a different resource across the platform. Pretty much they're trying to contain the token that should be used for a particular resource rather than for all the resources. I was hoping initially that the audience climb, AUD climb, will be taking care of this particular aspect, but look like the IDP providers have decided to have the odd climb to be, only one climb you can specify for each IDP provider. But hopefully this resource indicator should solve some of the problem. The other one is source authorization request or RAR, I believe. I haven't looked much into it, but when I actually skimmed it through, it was a little scary, to be honest, because the way how it is proposed is it's still in the draft. You can actually give your feedback to the consortium. This actually expects recommends to send some personal data as part of the token, which means you can actually say that once this a specific resource, like for example, I want to do a transfer of money from this account to that account, that level of authorization information will be baked inside the token, it seems, which is scary. But I haven't read the complete spec yet. But the initial impression is not great for that one. So that's something which you need to keep an eye on. I have done some best practices about using access tokens and ID tokens as part of a blog post, which I wrote it in the LinkedIn. I would strongly recommend you guys to have a look into that one. So today's presentation is going to, today's demo is going to be more about how you're going to secure your APIs using IDP. I have chosen to use OpenID Connect and OAuth 2 token. So that's an easy one to do it. And that's the way the market is moving towards as well. So some of the best practices which I have given there, I'm sure as part of our email follow-up, we will send this link. It will be fantastic to read that one. And there are certain things that still I wrote this years ago, and still it is relevant. And one thing I always keep highlighting with my customers wherever I go is the trust everything but verify. It's a proverb from Russia. It's a Russian proverb. I cannot read that. Tuvarai now provarai. Sorry, my Russian is not that good. So a recap. We had a recap, but I just wanted to recap on the structure of this API gateway, the DIY API gateway, which we saw last week. Last week we saw how easy it is, how easy we can onboard the APIs like routes and upstreams quite easily with a given API gateway. There's one folder which we didn't look much into last week is policies folder. I would like to zoom in, double click on the policies folder and see what are all the things which I have going to cover today. As part of the policies flow folder, we have 3 high-level global policies, JOT claims filter policy, and a rate limit policy. For the global, we have App Protect. I'm not going to dwell too much into App Protect today because it's about a WAF policy. It needs its own 30 minutes or a 1 hour presentation by itself or a demo to showcase what it can do. But I'm getting ready for the next one. That's it. I'm keeping that for now. The other one, the AuthZ folder, what you're seeing is the place where you actually go and configure which IDP your API gateway is going to assert the token against. I also brought a common log config where you can do a JOT, sorry, not JOT, a JSON log or a NGINX native logging. The other folder which you'll have to pay attention to is the responses. That's a response header where you actually start to dictate NGINX what type of common header you want to send back to your consuming application or consumers. For example, what's your latency? What's your correlation ID? So those can be controlled through that. Routes inside this global policy is to actually say like what's a size limit, you can access, a request size limit or a payload size limit you can accept for a specific route. The other folder is upstream. That's mostly to when you receive a request, you tend to actually forward the request to your upstream, and there are certain information you need to be forwarded to your upstream services. Those can be controlled through the upstream folder. The JOT claims filter is an important one as well. So that's the one which is actually going to filter your, once after the claim is asserted, the JOT is verified by NGINX. This JOT claim filter will go and filter those claims out of the tokens. We will see that in detail probably in a few minutes. Rate limit is the one which is exciting one where you can actually protect your upstream services by configuring that how much request it should take within a given minute or a given second so that you can protect your upstream service. Last week, someone asked me, can you realize the same NGINX Plus, this 2-tier architecture in Azure as well? So that is the link. I will definitely follow in the follow-up email. We will supply this bit. I have done that using Terraform and Azure. With Azure, I have mistakenly taken something called VM scale set. It is still in a preview mode in certain regions, so it may it's a little fluctuating on and off. But I have given the work around how you can fix that as well. But I'll keep an eye on it. Having talking about that bit, Terraform and Azure has got some issues, which is being fixed. I was waiting for this release. Terraform released its 0.13, literally probably an hour ago, and I'm sure those problems should go away. It's a demo time. Last time I was relying on Mr. Thor to help me on the demo. Let's see. Let me switch the screen to show what we're going to look into first.
Hi guys, I'm Cheryl. I run marketing for NGINX in APAC. While Raj is switching to his demo, I would like to remind you that we love questions. Please enter your questions along with comments in the chat box available live. It should be on your this side. And we will get to your questions right after the demo is finished. If we do not have enough time to answer all your questions, please email us using the address in the screen right there on the bottom. All right. So Raj is just looking for that
And
screen.
so what you're actually seeing here is an example of an OpenID Connect configuration endpoint. So before we go into Okta, before start the demo, I just want to give a quick overview of how that would look like. So this is the one what you're looking into is Google's one, and I can actually show you for the Salesforce. Pretty much most of the IDP providers who actually claim that they are on OpenID Connect or OAuth2 providers, they tend to provide this endpoint. To test our code, there are two information we need from this OpenID Connect information. One is the issuer, the other one is JWK's URI. So this is the one, if I just by clicking on it, this is the one which actually have the public key as part of the public key that get published by the IDP provider. They normally tend to sign the token using the private key, and they tend to publish the public key to the consumers, so the consumers can quite easily go and verify whether the token is verified, the token is tampered or not by verifying the expiry and as well as with the public key. So these are all the few examples. So let's actually jump into the Okta's one. I have Okta's my own. This is my own IDP, the one which I have done, and the thing what I need from here is the JWK's URI. They only have one public key here. So let me actually switch between. I hope you can see it. So okay. So we looked into the folder structure last time. So just to, we are running out of time. We have only 15 more minutes. I have to expedite a little bit. So here we have some server configuration, certain IDP level configuration. So one of those configuration goes into one of these two files. So that is inside the global AuthZ. So the first one, what I wanted to configure is the proxy pos. This is the place where I want to actually bring, the endpoint we just saw, the JWK's URI. So that's the place where my Okta instance actually hosted the public keys. The other change, what I wanted to do is the issuer. I want to actually make sure the issuer is actually, the token is issued by the right issuer, and I would like to assert that when the request actually comes into the picture. So this is the only two things I have onboarded. One, with the previous episode number 1, we already saw a couple of APIs onboarded. So now I am going to protect those APIs using these OpenID Connect tokens, which will be issued by Okta. So that is it. So let me switch to my command line prompt so that we can build it locally and see.
All right. While Raj is doing this, quick poll here. Who is your preferred IDP provider? Please type it in the chat box, and let's make it interactive.
Good. So let me build local first. At the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the GCP as well. For fun, let's actually do the Azure too. So pretty much we are trying to demo it from 3 different environment. One is local, one is GCP, one is Azure. So all the code which I have already shared, or you can take that code as it is and just replace this issuer as well as your IDP from your subscription, and then it's literally ready to go. So my local is ready. Okay, I just started my container. Let's watch the logs. That's good. So I have let's do a quick test. Remember we had a F1 API last week where I can actually go and let me actually go and pull the drivers. It says that you can't actually access it because, as I said, we have enabled the code to be protected using the tokens. It says that no, you won't be able to do it. Okay. So I have already just because of the timing, what I have done is I already went and obtained the client ID and the secret key from Okta. All I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a request to Okta saying that I have a client ID and secret key, and for the scope admin, I would love to actually get a token. And then Okta says that it's great. I know who you are because I'm the one who issued you the token. I'm going to, issued you the client credential, client ID and the secret key. I'm going to give you the token. So in this case, it issues the token with the admin scope. There you go. So let's try the Hello NGINX. Cool. So let us see what is happening with GCP. Oh, that's cool. So GCP built it as well. Similar test case. I'll try to hit. There you go. It's a similar problem. You won't be able to hit it until you send authorization without token to it. The GCP one, what I have done is I have actually protected using AuthZ. So now I have to issue a request to AuthZ. So what I was trying to show is pretty much it doesn't matter which IDP it is. It could be, if I have enough time now, I'm happy to show you the integration with Azure AD as well. But let's see, we have 10 more minutes to go. So this request, what I'm trying to do here is issue a similar kind of a request to AuthZ to say that, hey, give me the token. I want to actually use it against the GCP. So that actually issued the token. Let's go to the GCP. That's it. So it's pretty much you can replicate this anywhere, any environment you want. You have 10 more minutes. What I could do is let me actually locally change. You can see the logs actually all printed with JSON as well. This is another change which I have done with the current release of DIY NGINX Plus. So it's very easily configurable. You can switch between JSON logging to NGINX native logging. Depends on how you really wanted to push this to your log aggregator. So let's actually do a little bit more fun. Let me switch to AuthZ. We only saw it for
All right. While Raj is doing this, I just want to remind everyone that on the bottom where the description is, all the configurations that Raj is using is in there. And if if you have any other topics that you want us to cover for future NGINX live streams or webinars, please put it in the chat box, and we'll try to get them as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, feel free to drop us a topic which you really wanted to drill into. 30 minutes is really short. We really wanted to share the code and a working code so that it's easy for you guys to go and work it out by yourself. And if you need any help or anything to set it up, please feel free to reach out. So here the example what you're seeing is for auth0. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to take the JWS URI from here. I'm going to put that into my configuration. It's a very simple configuration change. You can see, and what I need is the issuer. So this is the exact configuration. What I did was used to build the GCP and Azure as well. We didn't test the Azure bit. So now I'm ready with that. I'm just getting ready with the local environment. All right, let's switch back again to my command line. So, sorry, not to. Let me build it again. I just cleaned actually cleaned it. Okay, let's go on. Oh, there you go. The Azure is ready as well. And the Azure, the code, what I deployed in Azure is also protected by auth0. Let's maybe, for a fun, let's do a colon. Yeah. So what you're getting here is a 403 similar error where I'm trying to hit the weather API saying that I want other information about Melbourne, which won't work until unless I get the token from auth0, not from Okta, and try it on the Azure environment. So it's pretty much with a simple flip of config from issuer as well as from the JWS key, NGINX Plus let you to go and protect your workload quite easily. The meantime, what I will do is I'll actually, until the local build is happening, I'll show you something on my what I did with the routes. A simple change what I've done. What I showed you is how easily you can configure your IDP within the NGINX Plus. But now with let me stop this one. With your routes, how easily you can actually assert certain claims that comes as part of the jar token. So couple of claims from the token I have asserted it here. One example is whether that role is whether the particular token has got a permission for an admin or not, and the client audience is equal to policies to place. Is part of the job filter. So sorry, Yeah. So here I'm using the directive auth jot claim set where I actually go and look for the permissions and auth. So these are all the two claims that actually comes with the jot token. This part of the check, it goes and verify whether it is an admin or not. If it admin, it returns one. If this is the right audience, then it returns one. On both IDP, what I have done is I have given this is as my audience claim. So when I actually flip between auth0 and Okta, I didn't have any problem of actually verifying it. So the onboarding, the API gate, onboarding the IDP's information is quite important, and the contract between API gateway and the IDP is also quite important. So in this case, I have taken the contract as what's the permission, what's the the JOT contract is. I'm expecting a role in a permission claim, and I'm also expecting the claim as a partner in my audience claim. So those are all the two assertions which I have done. As part of my route, I went and verified it. If it is not, the permission is not set to admin, then it will not let you to actually work on this bit. So that's the beauty of this. Oh, there you go. We're almost closer to the timeline. So maybe I'll see if there are any questions coming in. Oh, okay. Yes, there are a couple of questions. What are the? Ah, that's a fantastic question, Samuel. Yes, actually, honestly speaking, I personally have used two IDPs. One IDP is for consumers, another IDP is for workforce. So normally it's a normal use case I'm more and more seeing with the customers. So if you're having two IDPs, then it's not that hard to set it up as part of your NGINX Plus. So end of the day, the setting up the IDP's configuration within NGINX Plus is quite easy. You can actually differentiate that one. All you have to figure out is who is the issuer. The issuer is going to be definitely different between two different, the IDP. Between your consumer, depends on how you're using it. The way how I have used in the past is I have a config. One IDP is for specifically for a customer. One IDP is specifically given for my workforce or for my employees, but both of them tend to access the same resources. So we tend to go and verify both type of audiences and as well as issuer, but the role contract between these two, we made sure that it's the same thing. So another question from Graham. So, is it setting up OAuth and NGINX with an external ID really simple as just changing two parameters? Sure, or is there a bunch of setup you have done everything? No, just that simple. Trust me. If you take that DIY NGINX Plus, I mean, that's why I wanted to be completely transparent on this one. The code is right there. So open it up and you can see it by yourself. It's only I have already set that up as part of the DIY, and you can see that under the policy folder where you can see the global. And this under the policies folder global, there is a folder called AuthZ. So that's the only place where you have to literally swap it. So there's not much you will have to do after that one. It's very, very straightforward. No, it is not actually a prerequisite. It would be, for example, for the part one, we actually looked into the APIs, how I'm actually constructing the APIs, how I'm actually onboarding the APIs within the NGINX Plus. If you see that one, it will be helpful. But if you don't, the actual prerequisite to this one is to a webinar which we have done in NGINX, where we actually talked about different patterns, OAuth2 and OpenID Connect patterns, and what is the best use cases for the JOT claims. That would be the best prerequisite. But part one, yes, it will be nice to watch, just to follow the story, because this is like a 4-part series. We really want building the story for all the 4. So if you miss the first one, you may not understand why I'm doing with what I'm doing with these APIs. So do you have an admin API for configuration? Yes. We have admin API for configuration, but if your question is about do you have an admin API to configure this OpenID Connect endpoints, which I just showed, no, we don't have as of now to do that one, but we have admin APIs to go and manage your upstreams and do blue-green deployment, A/B testing, like managing your key value store. All those admin APIs are available to do it, not for OpenID Connect. OpenID Connect endpoint configuration. I am not sure what does that mean. Does it integrate with API Manager? We don't have a product called API Manager. Maybe if you could give a bit of a clarification on that one, it will be great. So Navneet asked some other question. Maybe a link to CASB webinar would be great. A webinar on CASB option. I actually I'll see whether I can find it. Otherwise, we will definitely send that a link to you. The webinar which I did. I think the topic for that is called Demystifying Authentication or Authorization using OpenID Connect and OAuth2. Definitely, we will send that as a prerequisite. It's a 50 minutes session, I believe, but I have extensively deep dived into the topic of how you can secure your API workloads. That's not with the demo, more from a general perspective. No, nothing to do with the product specific. The developer portal integration API config. Yes. So yes, we have a developer portal that get integrated with this one. Yes, it is possible to do that way. This almost we ran out of time. Maybe it's time to wrap up. If you have any questions, anyway, there is an email which we just shared. Please feel free to send email, or please feel free to send, raise issue within our GitHub code, or you have many ways to contact us. Happy to assist. Thank you. See you next week with episode 3. I think the next week episode 3 is all about how you can dynamically configure upstream APIs using a HashiCorp's product like a console.